decision to heal Ares. That's really the only way I can think of, like, actually solving that issue. Sorry about that, guys. It's the only reset I can really afford tonight, so hopefully the rest of the run goes smoothly. And yeah, crazy. I'm running on actual hardware tonight, so the load time saves have been immense. Yeah. I mean, alternatively, I play that fight safe and I just have one person attack each turn and one person heal each turn. Because she does get that double attack off on that seed. Where the self-buff first turn seed, she will get 2 double attacks off, actually. One early on, like you saw, and then one a little bit later. So had I opted to heal Jimmy there, she would have double attacked 2 turns later. Because that's what I did last time. Come the fuck on. Okay, so this is not the same seed then. The faster prologue seed is not the Young Ghost self buff seed, as far as I know. Be back in an hour. Good luck. Thank you so much, man. Rufus, bless you. So we are about 6 seconds behind. When you get the prologue can go one of 2 ways. You can either take that first fight right there with that cat that misses you run away from, and then in that street thug fight, he attacks, you attack first. He attacks first, you attack. He attacks first, you attack. The second way it'll happen is you don't take that cat fight. You get the street thug. You attack once. He attacks twice. You attack once, and that seed saves about 6 seconds. I would say about, actually, closer to 4. I think I just screwed up some movement. But as far as I've seen, those are the only 2 variations to the prologue, as long as everything leading up to that point is the same. But everything else is pretty clean up to that point. Now I can redo the tunnels correctly, since I failed to the first time. What are you doing? You're killing your numbers? I don't care. Gotta be ready for this marathon. Not every run can be me playing Parasite Eve blindfolded, and unfortunately I don't think that it's hard to pull the numbers that I need otherwise, so. Although I am considering doing, after this marathon is done, I think I'm going to do Parasite Eve club percent attempts. Not for viewership, just for funsies. Back on the Parasite Eve hype train for a while. Ni no Kuni's just too long for my current schedule to allow. In 2 weeks, when I'm done training, like at the end of this week, I have 1 more week. I'm basically understudying the current technology manager, and at a different location, and that is about an hour from me. It's about a 45-minute drive, but with traffic, it's about an hour. And once I'm done with that, I'll be at my location, which is like fucking 6 minutes from me. So I'm thinking that that'll help free my schedule up a little bit as well. But the way that they said they're going to do it at my location is they're going to do 40 hours a week and then 5 hours on call. So whether or not I utilize those 5 hours is It'll never be on weekends though. So that could, you know, I might have to kill some streams early if I get called in or something, but we'll see. I think that's a pretty good schedule otherwise though. Oh, fuck me, dude. Stream Final Fantasy 11. Well, I couldn't get fewer viewers, so it's just a boring game, man. There's just so much downtime, especially at the point that we're at in that game. Nobody wants to watch me run around and wait for Benson to get fucking Mandragora buds. I'd support you for Final Fantasy 11. So Final Fantasy 11 is what I do on weekends when I can't stream and my kid is here. We play on a private server. It's back in the olden days. Oh, it's our favorite MMO as well, Sophie. We're playing on a private server right now that is at the 75 cap, and it is brilliant. Yeah, I know you guys are always here. That's the issue. You guys watch me play the dumbest shit, and it encourages me to continue to play the dumbest shit. But I love it, so thank you guys so much. It means the world to me. It really does. Like, look at this. Nobody's ever even heard of this game. Ever. I mean, that being said, I think this is an amazing game. Bad example. Beyond the Beyond. People watched me play that. Ragnarok Odyssey Ace. What is the matter with you guys? Somebody should have said, hey, stop. Get some help. Yeah, it's a private server called Nozomi. It is hardcore. Making money is hard, getting EXP is hard, but it's just like the game was once upon a time when it was capped at 75. It's basically Final Fantasy 11 up to the release of Treasures of Out Urgen, except most of the Out Urgen stuff doesn't work except for Blue Mage Corsair. And Puppet Master is available, but it's like not coded correctly or something. It doesn't work very well. But that's good enough for me. Alright, so let me remember this. Sewer Children, back to Ares. Spectre, back to Ares. Sewer Children. You're entertaining, doesn't matter what you're playing. Thank you so much, I appreciate that. That's what I'm banking on. That was your last expansion? Man, you stopped at a good time, because the game really got a lot worse after that. Everything after that was significantly worse. When they started raising level caps, when they released those $10 expansions, that was when shit got really stupid. Shantoto's Ascension and all that other stuff. And then Abyssia came out, and that was what, like, absolutely was the nail in the coffin, because from that point forward, nothing took any kind of skill. Have you tried 14? I have. It's just not as difficult or as grindingly, appallingly, what's the word? I don't know how to explain it. And it's just Final Fantasy 11. You have to like write macro scripts and shit, and it's super hard. And like 90% of the game is downtime. It's just, I mean, it's a very unique thing. 14 is more like other MMOs, which is what I don't like about it. Having 50 hotkeys on my screen is not the same as having hundreds of spells and abilities at my disposal and having to prioritize them and things like that. It's just too different. Fuck! Yeah, XI was a that's what I tell people. Final Fantasy 11 is a very selfish game that requires you to be... if you want anything, you have to do stuff that you don't want to do. Like, group with tons of people and grind for hours, but, like, the sense of achievement because of it is immense. When you get a piece of gear that, like, it took months to get the requirements for, and it took 18 Link Shell members to schedule a date for, just so that you could kill one thing, and hopefully you could bid war a really, really sick piece of gear. Like, that shit, it sounds awful, but when you have it in your hands, it's nuts. And the sense of it's just like no other. There's just no other reward system that feels quite as good. Dynamis gear. Oh yeah, Dynamis gear. There's people that took a year to farm up a relic weapon, and tons and tons of people to help them along the way. Like, it's crazy. I played that game for like 8 or 9 years. I eventually had everything at 99, and still was like just barely scratching the surface of being elite, and it was just nuts. But like, that's what made it amazing. Is that like you had to invest. It reminds me of Legend of Dragoon. I say the same thing about Legend of Dragoon as an RPG, right? Like, you have to be good or you will die. Like, that's it. You have to be good or you're fucked. What am I doing? You had to grind and put in the effort to get really good at the game. Otherwise, you literally cannot finish it. Yeah, I'll post a private server in my Discord. It's called Nasomi. And it's actually super accessible now. You don't have to have 11 or anything like that. All you have to do is, they have an installer on their website, and it does everything. You just boot that hoe up, and it's that easy. Like, I don't even have 11 or any of the expansions on my computer anymore. What's going on, Instagram? How you doing? I have your overlays I need to send to you, so somebody remind me at the end of this stream to do so. So how was your stream today? Was it exciting? Was it fun? Were you doing Vagrant Story, I imagine? Yeah, I mean, Vagrant Story is a similar game in that regard. Legend of Dragoon was the same way. It was like, if you can't hit these crazy difficult, sometimes tricky additions, like you can't do enough damage to win fights. And that's what I loved about it. Like, it was hard. You couldn't just grind levels to get to win. Really, did he? That's awesome. Yeah, Ben is a good dude, man. I love that guy so much. Just one of the sweetest guys. And he's a lot like me personality-wise, as well as, like, you just kind of look at him and you're like, I don't expect this guy to be very nice. Or I don't expect this guy to be intelligent. He's kind of like alternative looking personality-wise as well. But then, like, we're both genuinely nice people. Most of the time I am. Please don't refer to quote 1. But I love that dude, man. Just the nice, and Shelby is the same way. Just so nice. And easy to get along with, like, just gets along with everybody. It's crazy. Well, I appreciate you supporting my own self-brags. Thank you. And I try to be. I know that people hear me speak, and it's just filled with obscenities. And they're like, this guy must be awful. Like, here's a good example. I make terrible first impressions on people. Terrible. Generally, I've gotten better. But back in the day, especially, when I was in my crazier, drug-fueled days. But I'll never forget, I went to this party that I was DJing at. And, I went to this party I was DJing at. I was getting paid to DJ. And my friend went with me, who lived with me at the time. And these girls that he knew really well showed up. And they couldn't fucking stand me. Like, I was like, why do you guys hate me so much? I literally have not said anything. They couldn't stand me. I guess it was just like my personality or the way I was acting or something. Well, 2 weeks later, having had those people hang out with us a couple different times, all of a sudden, like, they loved me, and they couldn't stand Robert, who was the person who lived with me at the time. Like, it had flipped. And I'm like, see, I promise I'm not a shitty person. I just, like, sometimes I say stuff that that people don't really like. Because I think it's funny or something. I don't know. Yeah, Chowster, you've never seen this game. It's, not a lot of people have seen this game, my friend. It came out in Japan only in 1999, I think. But it's beautiful. I'm playing on composite right now, so I promise the game, if you play it on emulator or you play it on like Component or even Xvideo, anything besides this, it's beautiful. One of the prettiest games I've ever seen for the PS1. But really, really cool, unique. It's got a lot of awesome elements. As far as the speedrun, it has a lot of things that lend itself to the speedrun. The music is great. The boss fights are very, very cool and unique and well designed and engaging and interesting. But like the art really is the big draw for this game. It's just a beautiful game. But yeah, unfortunately only ever released in Japan. No English patch or anything like that for it. Oh, and yeah, you absolutely need to make it out to RPG Limit Break if you have the opportunity to. Man, like, maybe it's just because it was just a bunch of people who are into the same shit I am, and like RPG speedrunning as a whole is already like the niche category of speedrunning. Like, it's definitely the bastard community of the larger speedrunning whole. So it was like those types of people who are already specifically into something I do. But man, it was just such a good time. By the size of it was perfect. The amenities, like the location, everything was awesome. And I just had like the best time. By the time I left, I knew everybody, and I was really sad to go. And I remember Cordelian, who I obviously watched his stream quite a bit, but hadn't hardly spoken to because, like, right off the bat, as people are like unfamiliar for the first couple days, they tend to stay in groups of like their game communities. So like the Final Fantasy people were together, and like the Link to the Past randomizer people were together and stuff like that. And people who had been there before were like hanging out with each other. And I don't have communities for my games, so I sat in the corner and played Ni no Kuni by myself like a fucking loser. But then when Kios showed up, because I knew him and he knew everyone, it made it so much easier. And that was when I started like really enjoying myself. And then my roommates came down. That was freaking awesome. Top. Met Kev and all those. That's what I'm saying. Like, by the time I left, I was like, I loved everyone. It was amazing. I think these go to the same place. They don't. Isaiah, how you doing today, man? I'm doing alright. Got home from work. I'm enjoying being working again. Something about going to work and feeling like you've accomplished what you need to accomplish for the day, as opposed to just being lethargic and staying home nonstop is very nice. I think I screwed up here. I did. Yeah, Bandai did actually publish this game, but it was developed by a company called Unit, and as far as I know, this is the only game they actually ever developed. It's a shame. Like, it is better than a lot of games that I've played on the PS1. Like, this game stomps on Beyond the Beyond so hard it's appalling. Darkstone, really, really terrible roguelike dungeon crawler. I would play this 1,000 times over before I'd ever play Darkstone again. Like, those are just two shitty examples, but like, there's no reason this game didn't deserve to come to America. Absolutely none. Hopefully that means my phone is dying and I don't have responsibility. Fuck. Yeah, my bad, Dylan. If I die at Young Ghost, we can just reset the router. Or, alternatively, you can just Ethernet cord in. That'll fix it as well, if you're listening right now. So that's what Benson does, and that's why he's unaffected. I don't know if you have an Ethernet cord long enough. But yeah, we can reset it. Yeah, what's going on? Most Infidious? Is that how to pronounce your name? I hope. Yeah, the early fights are very, very easy. Until you get to Young Ghost. Then she's a little bit difficult. Oh, was I supposed to shop there? I think I was. Niftiest. Most niftiest. I see it now. I was pronouncing the N. That's my bad. But it's a pleasure to see you, man. I know everybody there as well. Metalman ESA. Oh, man, then you would have a great time. You wouldn't have to deal with what I dealt with, which was like the awkward, you know, I'm here, hi, kind of thing. Because it's not a group of extremely sociable people by their nature, you know what I mean? So the people's willingness to like step out of their comfort zone for the first couple days is not a super easy thing to achieve. Whoa! How did that happen? That's crazy. That's neat. So that saves me a few seconds. Probably a hardware thing. Just got burnt out from studying, going to play some I Am Setsuna. Man, I really want to eventually do runs of that. I just got so much stuff that I have, like, I need to do runs of. Level 5 week, I have not forgotten about. I need to redo that again. The only thing I'm waiting on for level 5 week now is the Dark Cloud games. I have the White Knight Chronicles PSP game almost finished. I have Rogue Galaxy's route learned. I should probably do a run or two of it in order to, like, you know, solidify my practice. But Dark Cloud 1 and 2, man, I'm really not looking forward to. They're not very fun. The speedrun is difficult and it's very random and you have to know, like, it's an experience-based run. And I'm trying to do it with as little experience as possible just to, like, get the runs knocked out. It's very frustrating. Like, it's obviously going to require a lot of time to get good enough to, like, do it in level 5 week, which just pushes level 5 week back even further, and I would really like to get it done sooner than later. But, and then whenever I get the funds to purchase a different PlayStation or somehow acquire one. Oops. Oh, no, I was supposed to go that way. See, my body, I should have listened to it. I want to buy a 77K or a 70 series so I can start running Legend of Dragoon one day. But that's a long-term goal, nothing soon. I also need to buy sooner than the Legend of Dragoon setup. I need to buy a Japanese PlayStation 2. That would be nice as well. Hey man, I'm so glad you liked it, Chowster. Thank you so much for the compliment. Yeah, Ni no Kuni is my favorite game. My favorite speedrun. Everything about it is awesome. I really love that game. Unfortunately, it's a little too long. I could not afford a single reset to be able to fit it into one of my nights based on my schedule currently. But I would love to run that game, and it doesn't get the same viewership that Parasite Eve does, which is odd to me. Maybe it's because of the time commitment it requires to be a viewer to see it all the way through, which I understand. But it is just such a fun game, and I can't wait to do the 100% of it either. It's gonna be a blast. How's the baby monitor? It's good, actually. So when I booted up the stream, I showed it off a little bit. It's monochrome, so everything is like black and white and like that weird off-green color, like Pip-Boy colors. I'm not really sure what I want to do with it yet, but it is cool. It's over here on my bedside table right now. You love Ni no Kuni 2, man. Ni no Kuni 2 is interesting. I'm not the biggest fan of it because of how much I love Ni no Kuni 1, and I'm a creature of comparison, which is not fair, but I definitely don't like it as much. That being said, had I played it first, or had never played the first one, you know, maybe it'd be a little different for me, but I will return to that eventually as well and get my time down. Also, I run it on PS4, which is not nearly as fast or as comfortable to run on because of the mass amounts of menuing and stuff you have to do compared to PC with all the hotkeys and whatnot. It's a little quality of life bonus if you're on the PC, which, you know, one day I hope to get a decent enough PC to run that kind of game, and that's not really a priority to me now though. So, but it's very beautiful, and they got it's got a lot of good qualities. But the first game is just, I think the first game was like, and this is like, people are gonna be like, ah, that's such an exaggeration or a reach. But I really think that the first Ni no Kuni is one of the greatest games, one of the greatest RPGs ever made, especially on the console it was on, which lacked in like really amazing RPGs. So like, it's just hard to be Ni no Kuni 2. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. That's how RPG Limit Break was for me as well. Just by the third or fourth day though, like I was best buds with everyone, and I could talk to anyone, and especially after my run, I was a little bit more self-confident in that regard. So it was a great time. Okay. I think this is the correct. What's going on, Dan? How you doing today, man? Good to see you. I think this is a really good seed here. Oh my god. Beautiful, beautiful YG. Beautiful. That was really, really good. PS3 didn't have many. The generation as a whole didn't have much. I agree, man. I agree totally. Now, granted, that's unfair of me to say that. Like, I agree with you, but I also don't have tons of experience with that era, considering I visited it late, because I played Final Fantasy XI for that whole period of time. But yeah, just from what I've seen and looking at the library and knowing, you know, well enough what the library has to offer, it just wasn't great. Not for RPGs especially. And Bob, thank you so much for the luck. Seems that it panned out. It had White Knight Chronicles. That's very true. It did. It did in fact have White Knight Chronicles. Which is funny to me. I was actually thinking about it. And Level 5 managed to make White Knight Chronicles and White Knight Chronicles 2 and Ni no Kuni all in the lifespan of the PS3. That's pretty impressive. 3 games, 3 RPGs, so like lengthy games on a single console's lifespan is, it's pretty I'm not sure there's a lot of companies that have done that. White Knight Chronicles was a decent game. It's definitely a game. They're both definitely games. I never had the oh, I did it wrong. I never had the benefit of speedrunning them. Or I never had the benefit of playing them casually, which I'm sure was much more enjoyable. You know what? I say that, and it's not a great, they're not great games. But they're fun enough, and the speedruns are enjoyable. They're enjoyable runs. Like, I don't mind doing White Knight Chronicles runs. Like, I'll never do another run of Beyond the Beyond again if I don't have to. Yeah, see, most people who enjoyed White Knight Chronicles, they were like, yo, online was everything for it. What am I doing wrong? Oh, I'm thinking I'm on Pied Piper already. I'm really screwing this one up. Everybody's like, yo, the online is what made that. The online was really, really good and interesting and awesome. And I'm over here like, the fuck? Y'all crazy. I never had the online option by the time I started playing the game, and it had already been dead servers or whatnot, so. But a lot of, like, when I do runs of it, a lot of people who were casual White Knight Chronicles players do come and hit me up and say, like, hey man, and like a lot of good information has come from it as well. Yay, the greenhouse scene is so dope. This is most people's favorite zones. I say that because... What did I screw up? Return home and speak with Everett. It's gonna cost me like a minute. It's a shame. That was my bad. You know, part of me was like, I think I have to go home. But I remember, like, I thought I remembered going home and being like, dang it, I didn't have to do this. Oh well, that's what happens when you're trying to relearn and de-rust, I guess. I think Everett's up here. Yeah. White Knight Chronicles as a speedrun is very fun though, and it's not hard. The second one's kind of hard. The first one's not. So if anybody in chat is listening and interested and is thinking, I loved White Knight Chronicles, please learn the speedrun. The guides are very detailed. You could pick it up right now and do a run by the end of the day, or by the end of the week at least. It's kind of long. So it's not hard to learn though, is my point. If it was shorter, you could learn it by the end of the day, no doubt. At least the first one. The second one's a little bit worse. But if you play the second one, if you buy the White Knight Chronicles 2, it comes with White Knight Chronicles 1. And that version of White Knight Chronicles 1 is actually significantly faster than the International Edition. Because you get Eclipse Gate, which is a spell that was in White Knight Chronicles 2. But you can use it in the first one, and it changes everything about the run. I'm just too lazy to reroute the entire thing. Considering the insane amounts of competition, maybe I should consider it, but... See, I kind of feel the same way, but it's just the games that I like just happen to be long games. This is like one of the shorter RPGs I run, Parasite Eve obviously being the shortest, but... I just wish there were short turn-based RPGs, but then at the same time, maybe I don't, because maybe I wouldn't like them. Banger alert, yeah, that song is amazing. The song really is amazing. Come on, man. A 6-hour-ish limit. Well, White Knight Chronicles is actually sub 5 possible, the first one. The second one is probably sub 6 possible. Maybe. But yeah, I totally understand. Like, if I have 6 hours, I can't run a game that takes 6 hours. Because you gotta factor in resets, you gotta factor in screw-ups, you gotta factor in, like, you can't estimate your PB, you know, for the evening. Which is why it's hard for me to justify running Ni no Kuni, because I have exactly 6 hours if I start at 6, that I should realistically go to bed, to not be hurting at work the next day. And that's never gonna happen on Ni no Kuni. There's no way that I get a run that good. It's unfortunate she missed. I'm gonna have to heal up after this, no doubt. You gotta be fucking kidding me, dude. Yeah, that went bad. I've never seen that fight go so bad. Hoping that's enough HP on Jimmy there. Yeah, not exactly. So I ran Final Fantasy IX once upon a time, so I totally know what you mean. Thousand Arms is a game that I run that's 13 hours, probably less. I mean, realistically, it's probably a 10-hour game, but still, like it's just so hard to budget that time, especially with my kid and everything. It's just, oh wait, is this Virgil? Not making that mistake. Hey Dylan, I don't know if you're. Oh, was that from him? No. Should be Jimmy's turn. He should be able to SB6 her. Cool. Oh, dang, that slapped, bro. With Final Fantasy IX, I was running at like a 10-hour pace, maybe a little bit better, but not really. I was on emulator and stuff too, and it was like the first game I ever learned to speedrun. Okay, so it got worked out then? Glad to hear it, man. Sorry to restrict you. You know what? I think no, I should be fine. As long as Jimmy can SB6 the white one again before she heals, this should probably be the fastest way to do this fight. Healing him, that's actually probably good. Ooh, but I don't think he can SB6. I don't think that does any damage. I've never actually played any of those games. Yeah, I screwed up. This is slow now. Yeah, I did catch up with Mutsky. Mutsky's my boy. So I definitely, I shot him, shot him a message. He's like, I wasn't actually upset, I hope you know that. I was like, I know, man, but I felt bad. Who's gonna die? It doesn't matter, as long as Virgil gets a turn, we're straight. So yeah, I lost a lot of time there. Bad movement on one screen, bad fight. But ultimately, still being in the green means that there's a lot of time to save right there. Oh shit. Huh. I thought the fight was over, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Is that the game with the... Oh no, I always mix that up with Kudelka or whatever. The game that with the... The game with the chessboard. So I've not really even looked at them. So, I'll have to consider it. I know I really want to run Shadow Hearts one day. I really want to do that. And the LCC kind of gave me some advice on, you know, if I choose to run one, which one to run, you know, kind of how to get into it, the importance of some things, what's difficult about it and what's not, blah, 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 blah. And it was really helpful information. That was at Limit Break when we both had a conversation about it. They're really fun. Shadow Hearts is really fun, or the Suikoden? Wish I knew how to pronounce that. I shouldn't have gone that way, because now I'm gonna have to do my movements backwards. It's okay. This is a very important menu. I can't afford to screw up. 11. What is it? 21. And then... No, this is another menu I can't afford to screw up. And I fucked it up a little bit. So this is, I need 11 of these, 61 of these, none of those, and 21 of these. I think that's it. My eye hurts. Wish I knew the main story for this game. I can kind of explain it to you here in a second. At least a little bit. 61. So how much is this newspaper boy paying this girlfriend to look like his friend? Oh. Yeah, or the girl to look like his friend. She actually can't stand him, and she's forced to work with him. So, probably a lot. Well, somebody's paying them. Actually, your adopted father, Everett, she is like in love with. I'd say you are a weeb. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, she's just like a girl with a crush kind of thing. He just is like, he's actually in love with the scientist who turns out to not be a good person. But regardless, here's a little quick synopsis of the story, right? You start off as a boy named, literally just Boy, that's his name. And that little guy you see running right there, we call him Buddy, but his name in the game is just Partner. That's it, he has no real name. And you start off as Boy, you're an orphan in Victorian era London. And you basically get into a little scuffle with this street thug, and Everett, this very, very well-known, highly respected, renowned detective, comes across you and is very impressed by how you handled the street thug. And he says, how about this? You come stay with me, and you come solve some mysteries for me at my detective firm. And take some smaller cases that I don't have the time to deal with. And you can come live with me. And you're like, alright, cool. So you do that. Well, then you meet Aries, this girl right here, who is a friend of Everett's. Or her father is, at least, a partner. And you form this little kid detective team. And he says Aries is great. And she'll be your mentor, basically. And Aries is like, no, this kid is way younger than me. I don't like him. I don't need a partner, like, I do fine just on my own, blah, blah, blah. And that's kind of her aesthetic, is that she's kind of an a-hole. And Buddy is an orphan, your other member, is still an orphan, very young. And he just is your friend, very silly. He's the comic relief in the game to an extent. And that's kind of the character's backstory. Now, the story progression in this game is that there's a guy who has moved to London, and his name is the Man of Steam. And he brings with him technology for steam engines. And he goes to the city of London and says, look, I can make your cities, I can bring about the Industrial Revolution in your city if you let me build these steam engines. And they say, yes, obviously. And everything seems great. London is super stoked about it. All of these, amazing things they're able to do now with the power of steam engines. But they're blind to the fact that there's actually an ulterior motive that the Man of Steam is kind of working on. Well, another character, a villain, but a good one, an anti-hero to an extent, named Spectre. He is famously an incredible bandit, thief, and the arch nemesis of Everett, your detective father. Hopefully that was correct. Your adoptive detective father. They've basically been cat and mouse their entire careers. And, oh man, hopefully I didn't go the wrong direction right there with that last turn. But you run into the Spectre, and he pulls you aside and says, listen, I know that myself and my team and your team, Everett and his team, have not always been partners, and we've always been enemies, but I'm telling you, I know some things about this Man of Steam character who's recently come to London, and he's got some bad stuff going on, and we're going to need to, at this point, put aside our differences and together stop this Man of Steam as a mutual enemy of both of us. And, you know, basically, Spectre is a bad guy who is, you're joining teams basically with your enemy to take care of a bigger, more significant enemy. Along the way, you meet Virgil, and that's where the supernatural element of this game comes into play. You meet Virgil, who is a person, I don't want to give away his plot twist, even though I guess you guys can't really read it. But he has the ability, he's a psychic, so he says. He is the power, he's the one who uses magic and stuff. And he says that the dead spirits say that this Man of Steam has done something similar where they were from before he ravaged the town, killed all kinds of people, and moved on to find a different place to be able to grow his power even more. Okay, cool. So, Virgil and the spirits warn you, and it help you. They say, you know, we know the solution based on the mistakes that we've made. We can assist you in the defeating of this Man of Steam, and that's where kind of the supernatural element comes into play. Virgil's character is dope. I don't know a whole lot about that part of the story. I still need to translate a lot of it, but it's hard work. Yeah, Spectre is the best character in the game, dude. He's amazing. His character is very cool, and he provides a lot of funniness. He's like a joking bad guy. I kind of compare their relationship in their relationship in this game to Spider-Man and Venom, where it's like, you know, they're enemies, but you know, they know a lot about each other, they see each other a lot, and they constantly run into each other and have dialogue amongst themselves. And so Steampunk Superman, the Man of Steam instead of Steel. Basically, like, not really, actually. Sorry, hopefully that was a good enough synopsis for anybody who was listening. And I apologize if it was a lot of dragging on of conversation. But essentially the game is Victoria-era London with steampunk and ghosts. And detectives. Oh, I fucked up. Oh, got lucky there then. That's about as much as I know, though. And it's about as much as I can offer, because I've only translated bits and pieces. Enough so that I can kind of explain certain situations in a marathon setting. Which is why I haven't submitted this to any marathons until recently. And now that it got accepted in one... you know, I'm doing runs of the game and starting to brush up on my commentary for what I'm going to say. Sounds like it would make a cool anime. I think it would make just an awesome story in general. Especially with, like, the untapped storyline of what Virgil has to offer. Because Virgil's character and his storyline, they're the big plot twist in the game. And it's a good one. Like, I know that much of the game, or I know that part of the game. And it's a really cool plot twist. Being relatively obvious and whatnot, but... you know, that being said, it's neat. I don't know if there was any fan translations or anything like that that were in the works, and if so, they were abandoned because they definitely don't exist now. That's good enough. I'm sad it never got ported as well. It could have been it could have crushed. It would have done great over here. There are way too many terrible looking, bad playing, like Vandal Hearts, right? Vandal Hearts is like the shittiest game. But it got put in America. I don't understand. That's a bad seed. Ooh, that's not good. Ate the resist. Double resist. Oh, this is not going well. They're spreading out damage though, thankfully. I don't know why that happens in this fight. I'm not really sure. That those damage items sometimes just do so little damage. Maybe it's a positional thing. I'm not sure. But I need a certain amount of robot killers by the end of the game. So I'm hoping that I have them. Otherwise I'll have to shop. Wait, what was I talking about that was shitty? I can't remember. Oh no, Vandal Hearts is shitty. Vandal Hearts is not a good game. Like, it's enjoyable. I can totally understand people might enjoy it. But like, this game stomps the life out of it. It's ridiculous. You make me want to play it, but I can't read it. It's still worth playing, in my opinion, man. What was I supposed to come here for? I think I'm supposed to go to the greenhouse. Hopefully I'm supposed to go to the greenhouse. Yay, we get to hear Virgil's theme. Best song. Yeah, damage differences become pretty immense on any of the fights where we don't use damage items. I screwed that up a little bit. Lost a few seconds there. I'm the opposite, right? I have something to complain about with every game I've ever played. Like Ni no Kuni I could go off on. Parasite Eve I could go off on. Yeah, it is on the shorter side for RPGs. For sure. I mean, there's a lot of side content we don't do in the speedrun, like little mini... Like, you get paid money to solve cases, and there's so many side cases in this game that you can partake in. I just don't, because for obvious reasons. Oh no. Did I buy the wrong item? Ooh. No, I didn't. That was weird. Where did I get that then? Whew. I'll lose a little bit of time, but that's okay. And Buddy is not quite strong yet. Not until we go to the Haunted Mansion does Buddy get a really good weapon and starts... And that's when we can start utilizing Buddy's real talent, which is the Wonder Shot. What's going on, Hydros? How you doing today? Return to the greenhouse. I like this song too. It's nice that it's not tiring because we hear it a lot. Like, it's not very fancy. It's just pretty minimal, simple little track. What? Who got a PB in DQ8? Ellie did. Wow, awesome. Sub 12. Wow. That's a serious feat, my friend. Yeah, Ellie is awesome. Oops, we're in the wrong way. For some reason, I don't understand the significance because I can't read. We have to move this box. That's it. Dairy Queen? Man, I haven't been to Dairy Queen in so long. The final boss? Yeah, I mean, dude, there's a lot of bosses in that game that are pretty brutal. Even the freaking, even the Kraken looking thing that's early on is kind of difficult. But I'm not gonna lie to you, I wouldn't be surprised if Close to War ends up getting the world record on that game pretty soon. That guy is a freak, and the pace that he's on, especially with his new reroute, it's nasty. He's getting really good really quick. Yeah. He rerouted some of the end. He said that he didn't like some things that they did towards the end of the game, and he changed some of it. But like his pace for like the first half of the game is like way faster than everybody else's. I just don't think he's completed any runs or he resets a lot or something to that effect. Oh, Buddy, my boy. That was a big time roll. Wow, that fight was good. And we gotta talk to Virgil again. Yeah, Close to War usually picks a game and doesn't like stuff about it and changes it and then just grinds it until it's got nothing left to offer anyone. He's really, really good at those really long games, though. I'm gonna be learning DQ8 and 9 here pretty soon, because they will be a part of level 5 week. And if I wait long enough, maybe DQ11. I'm pretty sure that level 5 has something to do with that one. Maybe I'm wrong. So if we don't return to Virgil here and talk to if we don't return and talk to Virgil for those brief few text boxes, we can't progress the story, which is nonsense. Can't tell you how many times I forgot to do that. Yeah, he did, man. It's ridiculous. I told him, hey man, you please come run Ni no Kuni. Please reroute it. We've exhausted everything we could possibly think of. Literally pick any of my games. Please come route any of my games. I'm terrible at routing. I'm sure there's so much time saving everything that I run. I don't know why that dog had to die. The dog is guarding the house, the mansion we were trying to get into, and the dog is like a, what's the word I'm looking for? He is like an attack dog. He works with the street thugs. So like the thugs, like this guy right here that's standing in the, oh, not him. You'll see him, but he's just an enemy basically. I don't know if it's was specifically, but he was guarding that mansion, and the enemy basically put him there, the street thugs, and we needed to get in there, so we had to whoop his butt. But then we don't go in the mansion anyways. Yeah, so I'm the same way, man. Like, if somebody gives, that's why I love Quaz so much. Shout out to Quaz Pum. I love him because he's like, yo, check out this new time save I found in Ni no Kuni. I'm like, all right. And he basically writes this huge set of notes and script and gives me all this information. And I'm like, okay, this is what we're doing. Neat. Cool. And then I do it. And I love it because it's very difficult for me to think in that fashion and like wrap my brain around that kind of element to the game. I just, you know, some people have that way of thinking. Close to War Quaz, they're all kind of those kinds of people. Routing is very hard, man. Very hard. Yeah, dude, Quaz is, and I'm actually waiting for Quaz to do another run of Ni no Kuni because there's a lot of new shit. And there's a lot of new shit in that game that I don't know the game well enough to be able to just be like, oh, do this guy's quest instead of this guy's quest. Okay, that doesn't make any sense to me. So I have to wait until I can see it be done, but Quaz is until somebody beats his time, taking a break from the game. So I don't have it to base. I don't have it to go off of, unfortunately. Oops, I think it's just in here, yeah. Here we get to hear Virgil's theme for a minute. Yeah, Quaz is amazing, man. When it comes to routing games, turn my TV up so you hear this jam. Like, I wish that me and Quaz could enjoy the same type of games, and that as a duo we just did everything together. And because he enjoys routing, and then I just enjoy not routing. So if we could do that, maybe. If we could do that, maybe I'd be stoked. Just have him as my personal router. Just like, hey man, listen. Hey man, listen, I got this going on. This game I'm interested in. How about you route it for me real quick? And him just be like, okay, do it. And then I'll be like, check back in a week. And then I do it. Okay. So library, then to the graveyard. Yeah, Quaz says his time is actually not that hard to beat. He says with all the new additions and things like that. Now granted, he could be lying. But from what I've been told by the other runners and people who have an impact on the routing process that's going on, sub 5 on the PS4 is going to be hard, and it's going to require a different route because of how tight money is once you get to a good enough time period. Because in the PS4, in the PC version of Ni no Kuni 2, during loads, you still are accruing King's Guilders for your kingdom. On a PS4, you're not. And that doesn't sound like it's very significant. But apparently it's significant enough to require you to have to do things a little differently at certain points. The routers, when I did my run at RPG Limit Break, I talked about Quaz and OK at length. Definitely gave them the credit they deserve, or at least I hoped I did, because shit. Because man, Literally did everything. I just benefited from it. There are a few things I did in Ni no Kuni that I contributed, but very, very little. I will say that with 100% confidence. And, oh wait. Yikes. And Parasite Eve, similar situation. Parasite Eve I contributed more to, but even still not a ton. I just kind of got lucky that Primus had such a solid route and solid notes and everything put together that I could just benefit from it. No, I screwed up. Otherwise, I did well. SO. What is SO? I feel like I should know this. Oops. Return home. And then back to the graveyard. But yeah, I agree, Hydrus, that, oh, Super Mario Odyssey, yeah, that game definitely is a beast, especially with the community that it has behind it. And that's one thing I've lacked, and maybe that's why Primus and Quaz, I love them so much, because, like, those are the two games I have other people that even remotely give a shit, and those are the two games with, and as a result, like, I love the two of those people because of it. So maybe it's just that I need to play games that other people play or something. Maybe that's a thing. But I agree. The people who do routing, like, that's harder in my opinion than running. Like, you have to have so much knowledge or interest and ideas and creativity to be able to think of stuff that, like, Quaz comes up with stuff and he's like, well, if I do this now, 5.5 hours later, it'll shave 10 seconds off of this and lead into an easier one of these at the very last fight in the game. And I'm like, how the fuck, dude? When I route a game, I'm like, how do I make it to the next screen? Like, that's how I route games. I'm like, whatever I gotta do to make it to the next screen. However I gotta win this fight with whatever resources I can muster up. That's how I route stuff. And then over time, as I get better, I trim some things, but that's how I do it, and it's not that's why a lot of the games I route are kind of sloppy, and it is what it is. I enjoy them, but I'm sure that all the games that I've routed could probably be improved significantly. And yeah, Kingsguilder are tight in that game, and apparently on PS4, like, it's such a significance in being able to acquire that money that the PS4 would have to require extra quests. That's why I was like, maybe I can get a sub 5, and Q was like, yeah, sub 5 should be doable, and then now that they know more about it, they were like, well, maybe not. At least that's what I've been told. I don't know how accurate that is. What is the most modern game you speedrun? Probably Ni no Kuni 2, I have to imagine. Aside from that, I don't know. Like, that's an easy one, but outside of that, I have no idea. I don't know what came out later. I believe the Ni no Kuni 1 came out after White Knight Chronicles 1 and 2, so that's probably the second. I did do runs of South Park Stick of Truth once, just for funsies. I don't know if that's newer than Ni no Kuni 1. Could be. These giant Jupiters are really tilting me right now. The 1,000 Arms is dope. I do love 1,000 Arms. I just wish, man, I want so much for that game, and it's just not realistic. Yeah, that's what I'm doing, Chowster. I'm letting them route the PC version so that eventually I can go look at it and be like, oh, how about that? Interesting. And translate it. And just steal it. So no major mistakes, just a few wrong screens and whatnot. We're on pretty good pace. And as long as my shopping is done correctly, then we will, as long as my shopping is done correctly, we should be able to finish the run 100% of the time. That being said, it's harder than it looks to buy stuff you can't read. But that's no excuse. I should not have any of this shopping errors. Damn it. So usually what I've been doing lately is I've been putting my notes in a read-only file on Microsoft Word, but this is on Google Docs, so every time I split, it like jumps up the page. Man, apparently I was on a hell of a pace run at one of these times. My gold split for that is gross. Okay. Oh, dude, it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. I have to remember to like click out of that active window. My solution has just been to download all my files or all my Google Doc notes, and then put it into a non-editable Microsoft Word window, so that I don't have that issue. But I forgot to do that for this because I don't really run this game very often. Okay, go to shop now. Yeah, Google Docs is awful, but the reason I do Google Docs is, you know, the obvious reasons that it's like easy to share and everything, but go to the bank. Oh man, I hate this part of the game. This stupid wind tunnel, it takes so long. And you have to hope you don't get bad RNG. Otherwise it slows you down quite a bit and puts a strain on your items. Still to this day, I don't know there's a... Oh wait, is she here? Yeah, she is. There's a coveted item that when I first learned this game, which I'm sure that the VOD doesn't exist for it anymore because I didn't highlight my routing. But there's an item somewhere you can pick up before this episode that does AoE damage, like a significant amount. And it one-shots all the ads in the Meridian. If I could figure that out, what that item was, I know what it looks like. And I have that saved. I would just have to pick up every item in the game until I get to it. Which, realistically, I'm considering. If I ever care about optimizing this like crazy. Yeah, Apparition, that's a good idea, my friend. Yeah, see, handwritten notes, like Mutsky is big on handwritten notes. Or I think Mutsky is. Somebody I know is really big on handwritten notes. My issue is that, like, especially when I route a game, it's never perfect. Especially not the first time. I make so many, like, Thousand Arms, I've changed huge parts of the route in Thousand Arms like 5 different times. White Knight Chronicles 2, pretty much required a whole reroute of the second half of the game. So making edits like that, man, I would hate to have to... And a lot of my notes are like 50 pages long. So I couldn't imagine having to do that. Now, once I get good at a game like Ni no Kuni or Parasite Eve, and I need like 5 sentences to remember what I'm supposed to do with the places that I struggle with, that's a little different. Just be born in... Yeah, I know, man, I know. I'm going to run Thousand Arms in Japanese pretty soon, just to show everybody how easy it is comparatively, and I'm curious how good of a time I can get, considering that the current world record is not a very good run. Like, it's really bad. Yeah, Kev uses handwritten notes. That's what I thought. The wind tunnel does blow. It blows bad. It's so long, and the issue is like, for some reason, I don't know why this happens. You get a forced fight between the tunnel slimes, which is the next split. Now, after that, every screen you run down, which there's a ton, you have a chance to get a fight against more slimes. Now, if you get 5 slimes, which is the max amount of enemies, you can't run away. You have to fight them with AoE items. If you get anything less than that, you can run away from it. So, best case scenario, you don't take extra fights. Second best is like, if you do, it's not 5 of them. So we just kind of have to hope in that regard. Because I don't really have a whole lot of damage items to be able to weather, but maybe 2 extra 5 slime fights. Because I need at least 3 in order to dispatch Nemerdian's ads really quickly. Oof. Cool. Only 4. Come on. Okay. And if you choose to run away, like if you hit run away like right off the bat, and there is 5 and you didn't count them before choosing to run away, you just waste your turn. Okay, cool. It's 4 a.m. Love to watch the entire thing, but yeah, dude, definitely don't stay awake on my account. But I appreciate you stopping by, man. It was an absolute pleasure talking to you. And have a good rest of your morning, I guess. And thank you for the luck, man. I appreciate it. Okay, cool. Four a.m. seems like a time. It's crazy, is 4 a.m. is usually when I'm doing my runs, but my schedule has been absolutely flip-flopped. Nemerdian, I think, is in the clock place, right? Oh, you gotta walk past that guy. That's another one of the places where you have to walk. Top tunnel. Yeah. Switch and return. Ah, man. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad that I was helping with your keeping yourself entertained. That's one thing that we can usually accomplish here. Only entrance. Hit switch. Return to previous room. Did I go on the correct one? Yeah, I did. Okay, cool. Cool. We can run. Oh, yikes. Any thoughts on Octopath Traveler? Oh no. Yeah, I mean it looks great, and from
Welcome to Nevermore.
From what Bowie and other people I've seen play it have said, I mean it's a great game. I don't own a Switch. I do intend to buy one eventually, and if I do, maybe I'll consider running it. Looks like a ton of fun. It's really the last fight I can afford to take. Possum, thank you so much for the host. It's good to see you. Hopefully you are doing well today. Pretty sure it's this one. Yeah, it is this one. I remember now. Oh shit. This one goes up. We're in. Okay, cool. All right, Nemerdian time. Wow, yeah, that's it. That's correct. I believe that's the one that paralyzes.
Welcome to Nevermore.
It is dope. Hey, Edgy Eddie, thank you so much for the host, my man. I appreciate it. No! Oh, this is bad. This is bad. Young Merlin, huh? I can't say that I'm familiar with that. Okay, cool. But it sounds like some quality game. As long as he stays in this heal loop, we're good. Should be it. Oh, come on, please. This is a really... I got really greedy and I should have just healed my team with one of my... Oh, no. Oh, no. If I run out of these items, I can't win. Oh, yeah, we did it. Damn it. Google Docs. Whew. Oh, maybe this is the item. No, I don't think it is. No, I can't afford to take any more fights. I should probably heal, but I won't. Glad to catch this run. Well, hopefully you enjoy it. It is one of my favorite unknown games for sure. It is a beautiful gem of a game. Alright, I have 2 tunnels. Please don't be 5. Please don't be 5. Okay. This is, if there is, I have a couple gripes about the game, obviously. It's not perfect. But one of them is definitely this element of it. The tunnels and the dungeon kind of aspect of the game is a little weak. It's very repetitive, kind of samey. Who's fucking calling me right now? My roommate? Hello? Hello? Dylan, why? If my phone broke, I'm gonna be pissed. Dylan, why did you call me, my man? Are you still in chat? Fuck did my phone go? There it is, and no, it did not break. We're good, boys. And girl. Hey, Pasama. And Lily Grimm, if she's still here. Alrighty. Gargoyle dogs, easy. Fang, easy. Means we're getting closer to Fancy Pants. I know that, I just forget it. We're all inclusive. I don't dislike women. And I will no longer be calling out people for being women. I apologize. I was just trying to... Never mind. Anyways, this game is interesting. For anybody who's not seen it or unfamiliar or who's coming from Pause Stream, perhaps. This is a game that was only ever released in Japan, called London Seirei Tantei-dan, which is like London Spirit Detective Team, roughly translated. And so it's a super cool game. Really, really neat and unique. Hopefully I can remember this path, because it's not my notes. I don't know why. Yeah. Oh, it's awesome. Look-wise, it's freaking top-notch. I did remember the path. Yay! I don't dislike women. God dang it. Really not building up a solid quote database over here. A blog you check out, really? Dope. What blog is it, perhaps, if you don't mind my asking? Or you can DM it to me if you want to keep it a secret. Or I guess if you wanted to keep it a secret, you just wouldn't tell me what it is. Whoo! Obscure gaming or something like that? Well, that sounds like my kind of blog, my friend. Nah, it's cool. That's more than enough information. Yeah, RPG site posted about this game after I started doing runs to it and posted on Twitter. I know the RPG site decently well. I love them. Games that suck weekly. That sounds like my kind of shit right there. Okay, this fight can be troublesome. I just have to remember where I'm throwing my damage. Sometimes they get multiple turns and they move a bunch. Oh, you know what I forgot to do is buy damage items. I guess I can do that in my next shop. That's a route. That's a difference to the route that I've made recently, kind of. So it's not necessarily reflected in my notes as of yet.
Let's dispense with the foreplay.
Fuck! I lost my place. Hopefully it was this one. Yes, Mirakaze. Thank you so much for 3 months of consistent foreplay. I appreciate it, my friend. How are you doing today? Hopefully well. How did you discover this game? Okay, so there is a viewer of mine named Sim, and he showed it to me, or he said he would love to play it sometime. And I said, what's that about? And it just so happened that like a week later, somebody else in my chat mentioned it. And I was like, what the hell is this about? And they were talking about obscure games that were actually really good. And I was like, I'll have to look into this. So, I went on YouTube, and there's a guy named Jimmy Hoppa that has a YouTube channel called Import Gaming for the Win. And he covers Japanese games and stuff, obviously.
Let's dispense with the foreplay.
And he basically had like this little synopsis on it, which helped me a ton in understanding at least the basics of the game. And then, which is the reason I called my main character Jimmy and the other one Buddy, because that's what he said. Also, Sophie, thank you so much for the foreplay, my friend. 3 months. Your continued support is flattering to me, guys. It really is. I love you guys. Thank you. We get to hear the good song again. Consistent foreplay. The best kind of foreplay, in fact. Inconsistent foreplay? Consistent foreplay. Yes. And thank you for the compliment, Sophie. I appreciate it. You are great as well, my friend. I love this song so much. I forgot that I had to move after that fight, which is why I took that extra encounter, but... Yep, get stuck on that ladder every time I do it, man. It's wild. Fang, Scarlet's a really fun fight. Fang is pretty simple. I guess the only issue I would have is Fancy Pants, which means that if I haven't shopped for the bug or the plant killers before Fancy Pants, I need to go shop anyways because I need to buy the attack modifiers. No, to the museum. Oh yeah, I remember this part. So now is when we get to see Buddy, the hard carry of the run, the little baby. It's when we get to see him do some real stuff. He is well and truly the RNG king. So Buddy is if you're familiar with Chrono Trigger, the ability Wonder Shot, everything Buddy does is basically Wonder Shot. He has 2 sets of abilities. One set of abilities is high accuracy, or high damage, low accuracy. The other one is high accuracy, but random damage. And it can be anywhere from 1 damage to like multiple hundreds. I'm gonna talk to this guy first. So, it's crazy. It's crazy how much damage he can push out, but he also can leave you completely disappointed. So it really depends. So once this game obviously gets optimized to a point where like is way better than it is now, which is not super optimized. I've done like 4 or 5 runs. And my current PB is bad. Like I was like 5 minutes behind at one point and just had a much better last boss fight and ended up PBing by like a minute because of it. But once you get the run to an optimized enough point, it'll all come down to Buddy's RNG that determines whether or not you win anything. What are we oh-deering about? What did I say something incorrect? Or ridiculous? Snake? Oh, the snake. Oh, God. Snakes are such a sensitive subject here. Why would that guy even ask that question? It doesn't even make sense. Pretty sure I can make it through here. There you go. If only that guy who posted that thing on Reddit could understand the profound impact that that ridiculous question had on me. Freaking Parasite Eve 100%, man. Everything that's wrong with my life currently is because of that. Not really, it was a blast. Very tiring, frustrating blast. No, I don't want a snake though, that's the thing. So your $1,000 would be wasted. Or refunded, rather. I always take this fight here, man. I don't like it. Yeah, for anybody who's not clued in, I did a Parasite Eve 100% run, which was a thing I got myself into during RPG Limit Break. I said if we reached 100k during my run of Ni no Kuni, I would do 100% Parasite Eve and Ni no Kuni runs, which were never been done and were multiple hour they're long runs. So people, it got met, which was a surprise to pretty much everybody. So I did a Parasite Eve 100% run. Well, in the middle of that run, which is 77 floors of the Chrysler building that are all randomly generated, look exactly the same and quite long, I got so delirious and bored and tired that we did things like, who would you kill or who would you keep out of these people, and never have, or no, would you rathers and stuff. So running out of ideas, we did a would you rather Reddit page, which exists, it's a thing, and one of the questions on this Reddit page was, would you rather have any gaming PC you want, or have $1,000 and a snake? And I don't know why, but I was just like, this is, what the fuck? Why would anybody want $1,000? Why is that an option? Like, it's the most obscure second choice you could have possibly given. It's like being, would you like any gaming PC you want, or $1,000 and like 8 feet of electrical wire? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. But everybody's like, you want a snake, don't you? You wish you owned a snake. No, I don't. I don't like snakes. I don't dislike them. I had a girlfriend once who owns a lot of snakes. I'm not crazy about them. I have to say, I'm not wild about the snakes. It was actually another snake. It was an electric snake. It's a sucky position he's in right now. I should have just thrown a healing item at him instead. Attaboy, buddy. Good lord. What kind of snake? I guess it's pretty much any snake you want. I don't know. I'm not an expert on snakes. Come on, buddy. No! Come on, buddy. What the hell is that? Wow. Come on, buddy. Yeah, apparently it did a lot of damage. I guess any snake. I don't know. I don't know the different values of snakes between snake breeds or species or types or whatever it would be called. Why did you fight Pikachu in the bank? So I explained earlier, I don't know if you heard, about Spectre and his team of thieves, and Everett, this guy right here, and his team of detectives, which is him and you know, you, basically. And that the woman we just saw when we went to see, and she was robbing the bank, her name is Young Ghost. She's basically Spectre's number 2. And Fang is that little dog thing that they use, or that they have. It's another... They basically, in order for her to escape, send Fang in to attack you. And that's why. She got caught robbing the bank, because she's a klutz. And in order to escape, distracted you with the vicious little dog that is Fang. That's about all I know. I mean, there might be actual more storyline to it. I'm not sure. She's basically just a giant... she tries really hard to be a big and bad thief, but she's actually just a giant klutz and screws things up and is goofy. A thing or two about the Rocky Mountain barking spider. I feel like I shouldn't ask about what that is. That sounds like what my dad used to... He'd be like... Whenever he would fart, which is stupid, whenever my dad would fart, he would be like, that wasn't me. And we'd be like, well then who was it? And he's like, it's a barking spider. So I don't know if maybe what you're about to say is relative to that, because if so, that would be dumb as hell. Fucking barking spiders. Your dad said that too, man, so it's a thing. It's a thing. How about that? I never would have guessed. I thought my dad made that crap up because it was dumb. That is exactly what you're referring to? Is it really? What the hell? It's a thing people say. How about that? Everything has changed for me in this moment. By the way, what's going on today, Jen, man? It's good to see you. What the hell, dude? My whole life is coming crashing down. Oh, man. I gotta tell my dad. It's a dad-spiracy. Most definitely is. What the hell? That's so strange. That's so strange. I have to tell my dad. Never heard of it. Pasama lived a different life than the rest of us. An innocent life, a pure one, free of the barking spiders of the world. Life is good and the world is small. Apparently so, my friend. But it's good to hear. Good to hear. That's gonna sit with me all day, man. Oops. I didn't talk to her. And there's no way I'm about to do that fight by myself. That would be bad. Disclaimer knows when it is needed. Yeah, I guess. I don't know if I should keep that or not, but sometimes I feel like people judge me based on how foul my mouth is, and I feel bad about it. The last thing I want is scarring someone's children I already got my own to worry about. So right here, if I have AoE items left... Ooh, I do. Brilliant. Usually I don't if I get too many slime encounters. But it looks like we lucked out here. The money route, not anymore. The money route in the beginning of the run is you literally have a... oh, it should have just happened. You literally have like a $1 left over. So do I have $1 right now? I think that I had the $1 left over at this point. Let's see. No, because I just went to the bank. So I already had the $1 point. But after this, the run gets kind of freed up of of money troubles. We end the game with a ton of extra money. But early on, it is really tight. Over $9,000. We do. Yeah, they just give this child like multiple thousands of dollars on the regular. Oops, what was this supposed to do? Oh, that's right. I forgot. I hate the showroom, man. It's such a long screen. It's so risky. There we go. Over $9,000. Yeah, there's in the end of the game, we end up having like stupid amounts of money, and I'm like, who entrusted these children? And like, why are you guys paying so much for such simple mysteries to be solved? Like, it seems like the going rate for mystery solving is a bit ridiculous. Here's $6,000 for beating up the snake in the drain behind my store. Like, that's ridiculous. Oops. I'm pretty sure we have to do the loop around, or Scarlet won't spawn. I'm almost positive. Gross. This is a bad fight. Hopefully I can run from this. I don't know if I can. This might be a max amount of enemies. Okay, I can. Oops. It was one screen short. That's a neat little shortcut I discovered. Snake removal is not cheap. Apparently so. Apparently so. Alright, so now we'll start Scarlet. Hopefully we can continue to save time. This is a pretty easy fight. Oh, no! I used the wrong one! Blah. Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's not nearly as much money in that regard. I guess I'll give him an SB80. I don't want to use one of my other items. They're too expensive. Look at Scarlet's chest region. It's a weird shape she got going on here. Oops. Yeah, this is one of the supernatural parts of the game. Anytime you see Virgil, you're basically fighting spirits. But yeah, Virgil is dope. Virgil is dope as shit. He's actually mad broken. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Yeah, people that when I run this game, a lot of people relate it to Breath of Fire 3. And it's also similar in the aspect of, like, you can only take fights on screens that are big enough to house them kind of thing. So that's also another similarity. Leave Virgil alone. Wake up, Jimmy. Jeez. I'm losing time. That first summon's gonna cost me. Oh. Never mind. Okay, so dragon. I guess dragon we don't really have to worry about. Realistically, though, I could shop early. I just don't know if the items that I need are available before Mana Ray. And if anybody is considering going to sleep or whatever, if you'll just please get to the Mana Ray split, which is not too far. Oh, wait, no. So I guess we buy the damage items. I should have bought them already, I think. Yeah. Yeah, I guess I should have purchased them already. So I'm going to have to go do that now. No, I couldn't have bought them already because I couldn't afford to. But I know I have them before Fancy Pants. So perhaps I buy them after Dragon. Which is, I'll wait until after Dragon then. Mess up summon, still save time. Yeah, I actually don't know if I, looks like I just rolled high enough to not need it. Virgil does tons of damage. He is really, really broken. And because of this game's level mechanic and the way that it works, Virgil and Buddy, the two characters who spend the least amount of time in your party, are the best characters in the game. Never fall asleep on me. Ooh. Ooh, damn. Getting real spicy in here all of a sudden. So the way that this game works is, so Jimmy, the main character, the one you control, you'll always have him. 100% of the time he'll be in your party. Ares, the girl, she will be in your party probably 80% of the time, maybe a little bit more. Somewhere around there, though. Buddy, the little kid, is in your party probably like 60% of the time, and Virgil maybe like 20% of the time. So you can only have 3 of the characters in your party at any given point, but because the characters are sometimes not a part of the team as you go through episodes, what the game does is it levels up those characters so that when they return, they are the level that the game would have assumed the rest of your team would be. Like, it accounts for the experience points it assumes that you will be getting from the fights that you take during that person's absence. Now, we don't actually take any fights, so that's not a thing. But it does help because anytime one of the party members leaves, they come back like way higher level. So Buddy ends up like 15 something levels ahead of us, and Virgil ends up over 20. But because of that, Buddy carries a lot of the early fights, and then when in the later game we have freaking Virgil just stomp everything like ridiculously. Took me literally 2 hours to fall asleep last night. It was so freaking hot and uncomfortable. Oh man, sorry to hear that. Where do you live in that the temperatures are of that sort?
Welcome to Nevermore.
Hey, cool. Zelfie, thank you so much for the host. It's been a minute. Hopefully you were doing well. It's nice to see you. Being all hot and bothered is not fun. Okay. I'm gonna leave that one alone, I guess. Michigan. Place where we get 103 degrees all the way down to negative 20. Yeah, it was 111 the other day here. But we're used to it, right? So we just don't go outside and shit. And I use a sunscreen in my car, so that helps tremendously. Wholesome young chap. I believe it. I've heard that about you. Here's Buddy and his silly shenanigans. They do some terrible things to this child. It surprises me. Also, Buddy will never go with you into the museum because he doesn't like the police. So anytime there's a police presence, Buddy leaves until you leave the areas where the cops are located. Buddy goes hard like that. You don't mess with the 12. And the reason for that is because he's an orphan, and apparently cops and orphans, they don't necessarily get along in this day and age. Buddy's a straight thug. He's a killer. Yeah, he knows that he is gangsta. So that's why he don't mess with no police, no cops. But yeah, he's afraid of the police. So when you enter the museum where all the police are, he'll sit over here and draw fish on the ground until you leave, and then he'll rejoin you. Such a great little guy. Yo, Lampshade, what's going on, man? How you doing today? Good to see you. And not much is going on here, man. I'm just doing the old LST runs on a pretty good pace. I'm running on actual hardware right now, though, so that's probably the difference. I can pretty safely say that this is probably not the best performance actual game-wise. But I'm doing well enough to be able to make use of some of the time saved from the loads and whatnot. Alrighty, but now that it's nighttime and there are no more police at the museum, Buddy will join us, thankfully, because we could not win this next fight without him, man. This next fight can go really, really quickly or really, really slowly, depending on how Buddy rolls with his RNG. Buddy sometimes, here he is getting eaten by dogs as he sleeps. And then we wake him up. We're like, yo, come with us. Buddy's a sweet little guy, though. Like, he brings out this piece of bread. And then he realizes the dogs ate his bread. And now he's tilted. So he's got a little bit left. He actually shares his bread with you. Early on in the game, he gives you some of his fish, which you can use as their, like, healing items. But this next fight, I mean, it's not difficult or anything, but it can go really, really quickly if Buddy rolls just crazy high numbers. And he definitely can. I've seen Buddy roll like high hundreds in this, and it's a nasty fight. It's a nasty fight when Buddy's on one. But I've also seen him roll like nothing but 7s or 3s and stuff like that, and then it's a struggle. So he can make the difference of whole minutes pretty easily. And yeah, the splits are real. I'm assuming that most of it is just starting to remember the route a little bit better, as well as like running on a superior console. Wait, what did I not do? Oh, I remember. We gotta go peep on him real quick. Whenever Buddy starts rolling really bad with his Wonder Shot, I'll start using the fish, and I'll kind of alternate between the Wonder Shot and the fish, and usually that minimizes my DPS losses to a certain degree. I mean, granted, it's not perfect no matter what. I got a copy. Yeah, I wrote on PSP, so not a real copy. Alrighty, let's see how this fight goes. Bless the Buddy RNG here. It's average. She's a tank, and like for some reason Ares just has mega high DPS. So we always want her. We always want her to take the hits if we can. She is the best at absorbing them. We also treat her as pretty much our item healing mule. That's her main position. I'm sure that I shot before. Yeah, I do. I shot before Fancy Pants. Come on, buddy. I need better than you. Oh, no. Oh, no. Alright, so things are about to get a little spicy. Now we really need Buddy to be on one. Like, for real, for real. That's what I'm talking about. Is this Monster Hunter? No, this game is much better than Monster Hunter. Come on, buddy. Come on, man. What is that nonsense? Jimmy is dead. We need you. We lost like our consistent damage dealer. Ooh, do I risk it for the biscuit? You bet your booty I do. Oh my lord! Oh my goodness, buddy. Chill. That's good. Anything above 100 is really good. Almost 200 is nuts. I've seen Buddy like 3-shot this boss before though. So there's still a chance. That's alright. Yo, Simon, what's going on? How you doing today? Buttloads of damage, indeed. As long as we stay above like 50 HP, he can't really kill us. Right now he's doing what basically the amount of damage Jimmy would do. If I hadn't misplayed so heavily. I didn't realize that he was going to get bodied like that. Oof. Pretty soon we're going to buy much better healing items, like as soon as this fight's over. That's fair. Hey, well done. So still saved a little bit of time despite that fight not being excellent. But he did roll fairly. He rolled pretty deep, like that's above average damage, like all those 90s and 100s. And that 198 was massive. But outside of that, he was pretty consistent with that, so wasn't the worst I've ever seen for sure. Despite Jimmy dying, the fight went pretty well otherwise. So Everett loves this professor, who pretty much just only cares about science. That feedback. Don't worry, man. You haven't missed much. Although we have made it further into the run than we usually do, so we got that going for us. Everett gets shut down. Everybody always says that Everett looks like a character from a game. I just can't remember what game it is that they're talking about. I think maybe they said that he's dressed like the dude from Case Closed or whatever. I think that's the comparison. Instagram might be able to remember better. Is that what it is? Does he look like that at all? I don't know. Edgeworth? Maybe that's it. Alright, so now we gotta make sure that we, he looks like Edgeworth. Well, who is Edgeworth? Where's he from? Is he from Phoenix? Is he from that Case Closed game as well? Instagram, everybody says that Everett looks like a certain character from a game, and I'm just not. Is it Edgeworth? Is that what people always say? I can't remember. Okay, so go to the bank. We go to the bank here, and then we... Dumb kid. And then we need to... hey, that's the same kid that I screamed at for that one quote. No, it's not. Maybe it is. I can't remember. So now we go and buy a lot of really good stuff. But I have to make sure that I get these damage items correct. Otherwise, one of these bosses is going to body me. And if I screw up the Snapdragon one, then we're in really rough shape. True Mirror is right here. We need 21 of these. 21 of these. And then attack down is like somewhere towards the bottom.
Welcome to Nevermore.
That's not it. That's not it. Oh, that's it. We'd actually probably buy a couple more of these for the final boss. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Those extras. Maybe I had the money routed really. I don't think so. I think I got some extra change here. By the 2,000 and the 1,500 upgrade for Jimmy. By the 2,000 and 2,500, 2,000, 25 for her. 1,000 and 2,500. Cool. Yo, Blue Harvey. Thank you so much from the Case Closed. What the hell is that? Is that not what it's called? I thought that was like what the fucking... Man, forget you guys. $250 healing item.
Welcome to Nevermore.
It's a 200 healing item. Whatever. 5 of the... Oh, SP30s. Which also don't exist. I mean, my notes are whack. And then heal these. Whatever. Reminder that Carrie is not a weeb. HGH, thank you so much for the host. Yeah, so I looked at it, and it doesn't, like, you can set the alert variations, right? I'm familiar with that. The issue I run into is, like, it doesn't, the variation options are based on just, like, you can't, from what I saw, it wasn't, like, set the variation based on an amount of bits donated. It was just, like, you can have it vary, and you can have it either randomly, like, happen all the time, or rarely, or like, 50-50 kind of thing. So, I don't know if maybe I was looking at it or doing it incorrectly or whatever, which is probably very possible. So, I'll have to look at it again. I only looked at it for a couple of minutes. So this is the American character in this game. I don't know if you guys could get that vibe. But the chick with blonde hair, a cowboy hat, Daisy Dukes, and Tiggle Bitties is America's representation in this video game. She's basically like a dumb bimbo. So that's what the Japanese think of us, apparently. Why does every American character have to look like a cowboy, dude? Like, there's not even that many cowboys where I live, which is literally like the cowboyest place on earth. Her attire. Yeah, it's ridiculous. She looks like a rodeo clown. But is it customize it how you want? HGH does it? Because I looked at that. In the edit for the variation, does it give you an option for based on amount? If so, then I just didn't look very well. Because I thought it was just like the follower and stuff like that, where it was like you can set the variation to just a frequency standard. Go to the museum, showroom, cops. Okay, I remember that. Alrighty, time to deal with Fancy Pants. Hopefully I have enough healing items, man. I felt like I didn't buy as much as I usually do, but guess we'll see. This is probably one of the harder fights in the game, although there's not a whole lot of risk in it. It's just difficult. I think the young ghost is the highest probability of dying. But I think the Fancy Pants and Fancy Pants 2 are probably the longest and hardest fights to save good time on. However, with these damage plus items, I'm hoping that that makes a significant enough difference. For condition, screen cap it. Alright, I appreciate that, man. Thank you for going through the trouble. Because I'm just a goober. Man, get out of my way, woman. Oh, that's HGH. I was like, oh my goodness. Alright, now we go home, turn it to nighttime, return to the museum so that we can fight Fancy Pants. Oh, okay, cool. Well, thank you, man. I really appreciate it. Come on, buddy. The cops are gone. It's safe. So every episode, the positioning of NPCs changes. You could definitely do enough runs of the game and get really familiar with where NPCs are going to be on each screen, but it's not uncommon for me to run into them quite frequently because, like, from one episode to the next, who's standing on that screen and where it could be completely different, and I definitely don't have it memorized. Hopefully my bathroom break is soon. When is it? I think it's at like episode 18. So everybody rejoins. Thankfully, it's nighttime, so Buddy can enter the museum because the police have left him. Okay, good. One good thing about nighttime, you can take encounters during the nighttime, but there's not any NPCs in the way, except for ones that you have to fight if you talk to, so it's a pretty easy to navigate situation. I was about to say, you can take a fight here, and usually they go first. Oh, cool. We got out without any trouble. So, the attack we're currently using on Ares is a magic attack, so the offense ups that we have, they don't actually affect it at all. It does pretty much like a consistent same amount of damage always. So there's no point in using one of those items on her. Instead, we'll just use them on Buddy and Jimmy. And Jimmy will do almost 100 damage a hit now, which makes it a little safer if Buddy decides to roll really low the entire time. Oh wait, it's over here somewhere. I should have, how many? What I ended up buying? Oh, here they are. I was starting to worry. I worried for a second right there. Alright. Now we start ripping it up. The ripping and the tearing. Pretty good damage. Now what we don't want to see is Fancy Pants spamming AoE. Come on, buddy. Oh! God damn! My boy Buddy, he out here slapping. We want to go through our, we want to go through the weaker healing items first, obviously. We don't get a whole lot of value out of the stronger ones yet, because we don't have really high base HP values. Like, maybe now would be worth using one, just because of how low Jimmy is. But if we don't have to, we don't want to use them. Come on, buddy. That's good. That's fair damage, man. I'll take it. And we always want this. This is a perfect situation. Well, not that, but we always want her taking the damage whenever possible. Just because she's so tanky. Oh, you know what? I didn't equip all that gear on my people. That's funny. I was wondering why. I was like, I feel like I'm taking a lot of damage. So I went and bought all that gear and forgot to equip it. So we're gonna have to play this fight a little safer than I usually do, I imagine. That's fine. Yeah, he's taking a shit ton. Oh my goodness. Oh! Oh Lord! We should be able to save time here. Especially if Buddy keeps rolling nasty high. Oh, God! Chill! Chill! Whatever, I don't even care. Alright, now that he's healing, that means he's almost dead. Probably safe to throw an attack out with Ares here. That's fine. Come on, buddy. Meh. He's so mad. Yeah, his stance is funny as hell. His fish attack is funny as hell as well. Come on, buddy. Yes, that's respectable, bro. Using more healing items than I really honestly care to, but woo! Dang! Murder him! The absolute madman! Come on, dude! You are hot garbage. On some real shit. I'm just gonna leave Jimmy to die at this point. He's so close to being dead. Jimmy can heal his own self. I don't want to waste any huge items on him because he's really not. It's not worth all that. It's good damage. Yeah, you can call that boy hot garbage. I think we're probably safe to just race. Yes! Pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. Buddy was on one. He was rolling high 200s like crazy. Oh shit, it's almost time. The moon in a suit. Yeah, he does. I always thought he looked like a giant banana wearing a fancy outfit. He kind of looks like he belongs as like a Sonic villain, right? He looks like a Sonic villain to me. Best split, yeah, the one that takes like 2 seconds. And you get to hear the good music the entire time. I'm about it. Or you mean the one after that, I imagine. The best split is 18 so that I can go to the freaking bathroom. Manta Bay hype indeed. He's so cool. He's so cool, man. It's a shame that I found a better strategy for that fight. Because it's not as long as it used to be. You can't really enjoy it as much. Yeah, they gave her some tig-ol' bitties, that's for sure. Get out of the way. Yeah, I think Jimmy Hoppa, in his video about the game, I think he said something like, this is the American character. Her name is whatever her name is, I can't remember. He's like, she's your run-of-the-mill American bimbo with interesting way of talking, very ditzy, and a certain amount of assets, and it like zooms in on her boobs. I was like, Jimmy, chill, dog. Relax. Come on, little kid, get out of my way. Children, man. Always making my day harder. Why you gotta be like this? Okay, so now, this is a really, really cool part of the game. Once you talk to Virgil here, he puts you into kind of like a dream realm. And all the exits in the game are different now. Everything exits to different screens. So notice right here, this is not the screen I should be on. This is actually pretty far from it. Oh, I think I go left. From sewer entrance, go up to steam engine room. Steam engine room, run right all the way towards the graveyard. Okay, cool. Go stairs. I think this is it. Then we run up into the graveyard, blah, 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 blah. Makes you feel so good, yeah. It's crazy, the screen gets all misty, right? And it's like you're in this house of flowers, and all of a sudden, like, you have no idea what the hell's going on, and everything is confusing. I'm like, yo. Virgil lit up. Virgil lit up, bro. He was like, hey, kids. You want to be able to sense the supernatural? I got something for you right here. I hate this day, though, dude. I hate it. It's so long. He keeps the good stuff in his bowl cut. Like any freaking pure G with a bowl cut. You already know. They got the good. cod piece? I don't know what the hell that even means. What? There's Buddy fighting dogs over bread. Legend. Legend, man. Are you talking about Manabe? Because he's next. Damn! His freaking battle music is amazing. Then we go talk to William Blake over here. The guy with the cod piece. Do you not know what it is? I don't. What the hell is a cod piece? I should no longer be surprised by things you aren't aware of, Carrie. Yeah. What are we talking about? I'm so fucking confused, man. I'm an innocent guy. I'm naive. I've lived a sheltered life. Wait, what? Ah, son of a bitch. I forgot to go talk to the witch. Should Google it? I feel like I shouldn't. I feel like that's bad advice. Cod piece is a cup? Oh. Well then no. No, we're not to him yet. We're about to be though. Don't worry. All you foreigners and your weird dialects. Cod piece. We'll just call it what it is. Called a junk shield. Man. I really wish that's what people called it. That would be dope. Get out of my way, bro! Now we gotta go talk to Spectre. Not exactly a cup. Is it something more sinister than that? Or are you just speaking in loose terms? Like if I Google it, am I gonna see some things I don't care to see? Oh, okay. I won't see man bits? Well then, why waste my time, Kappa? Oh, okay. Fair enough. That's my average internet scrolling. Alright, time to go to Wayne and Garth Enterprises and go beat the crap out of Mana Bay. Oh, you know what? Whatever. Junk Shield. That'd be a dope name for it. See, I should have invented it. Could have coined the phrase. Okay, this is right here. You gotta not input a command. There we go. Because once you hit the door, it prompts you with a destination. Not once you hit an input to open the door. So it's very, very important. I always screw it up is what I'm getting at. Decorative cup. Why would somebody need a decorative cup? I feel like if there's a whole lot of things, I was like, you know what I wish had more flair? Cup. I can think of at least 5 other things that I'd rather be decorated. At least. What? That doesn't even make sense. I'm gonna have to look up this this warlock then. Oh. Would you rather have a codpiece or a snake? Fuck. Probably the snake, to be honest. At least that point I could sell it for something more than I'm sure the codpiece is worth. Alright guys, it's time. I'm gonna turn up my volume so I can hear the sick music. Snake piece. Yeah, if you try hard enough, you can make a snake a codpiece, am I right? Back just in time, my friend. Oh. Who the fuck is this? This is Mana Bay, dude. This is the man. This is the man. And his weakness is these items are called true mirrors. He doesn't like it when you throw mirrors at him, apparently. The god piece. Someone should call someone. These children need help. As you can tell, this fight used to take a very long time before we started using these mirrors. He really does not like Buddy, huh? Doesn't matter, my Buddy is completely unfazed. Buddy, the absolute legend. Dude, right? This is my, oops, I think it's just default option. Currently, this is my perfect timing bot message. It really is. It really is. Currently, this is my RPGLB submission. My, my main one. Oh, fuck. Forgot that we end up here. It would be amazing, dude. People would go so hard on Mana Bay, dude. Yeah, and I could totally provide decent enough commentary. What am I doing? Like I'm going to, before my marathon this upcoming week, I'm going to translate a few more screens of the story that I think are pretty important screens. So just to get a little bit more context for some things. But yeah, we could totally, it would totally go hard. So Snapdragon, this fight used to be like fucking impossible. Until... So I used to think you had to speak with Everett there, and now we save about 20 seconds by not having to do so. Ooh, this is a tough decision. That's not a whole lot of HP. But I'm wasting Virgil's turn. I think I'm good. I'm gonna risk it here. Hey, Demonic, it's always a pleasure, my friend. Thank you so much for stopping by. Have a great rest of your evening. Oof, we did get lucky. Come on. Dude, I might not have the healing items. Yeah, this fight was a run stopper. Back when I was routing it, I think Cord might have lost his mind. He is going through a recent bout of stress, it seems. What makes you say that, HGH? What? Oh shit. It's a weird thing to randomly decide. That's like what, 30 hours or something? That's actually really good. Guess I'll just use an SP80. Another 28. That's not bad then, for his, you know, by his standards. He's done worse. The freaking triathlon of death is way worse in my opinion. Please don't kill Jimmy. Ooh. Yeah, the trio of fate. Cord's the man. He really is. I love him. He was so nice to me at RPG Limit Break before he left. He said some really nice things to me, and I'll never forget it. Great guy, by the way. If anybody wants to check out a runner who does just some crazy awesome things, Cordelian, the man, the myth, the legend, definitely check him out. Yeah. Yeah, me and him are definitely opposite personality types. I'll give you that much. Ooh. A mod for Cord. Yeah, he is amazing. He's just, I don't think there's a person who dislikes him. He's just not a person that you could dislike. Yes! Fuck! Thanks a lot, stupid freaking Google Docs. Every time I split, it wants to scroll all the way up.
Nut.
Yay. Thank you for nutting, Zane. I appreciate you sharing your nut on this stream. I like this song a lot, so I turn up my volume for it. Cord is one of those guys that's perfect for when you're ready to like wind down for the evening and you want to just listen to someone's sweet, sultry voice. Watch some really unique stuff you literally will not find anybody else doing. Almost time for the potty break, thank goodness. I have to pee. Dude, I tell him all the time. I told him before RPG Limit Break, before we even met each other, I was like, hey, will you do me a solid? And if I send you a script, will you record a book on tape? He was like, like an audiobook. You want me to record an audiobook? I guess that's something I could do. Maybe at RPG Limit Break, I'll lead some yoga. That was his response. That was my that was my impersonation. That's what he sounds like, man, I promise. If you've heard him, it's not that crazy. That's what he said, I promise. Now I feel bad. Impersonation is actually 10 out of 10. I'm glad. So I talked to the dog right before the cutscene, which gives me that fight. And it sometimes doesn't give me this fight as a result. So it potentially saves like 10 seconds, or it loses none, so... I'll have to clip it and get it to him at some point. Ah, fuck. Oh no, I'm going the right direction. No, now I'm not going the right direction. Son of a bitch. So this maze, I used to think it was random, but now I have it routed out, and it's awesome, because this maze used to take like 5 to 10 minutes, easy. Hard to offend. Yeah, and Corden knows my personality well enough that it doesn't matter. He's just such a sweet guy. Just the nicest. Oh god. The clip has been born. This stupid song you just hear over and over. Oh shit, did I buy the snake killers? Oh yeah, I bought them very early. Busted on camera now. If I had a dime for every time I busted on camera, am I right? Yes, you're right. You're right, HGH. Jeez. Busted on camera for money. Oh, oops, I went the wrong way. Up? Nah, that's a lie. I'm lying. I'm too shy. Door in room, door in room. Yes. Right. Linear path. Up past statue. Door in room. Linear path. Stairs, cool. Downstairs. Down to door in room. Left. Door in room. Down. Door in room. Right. Door in room. Right. Up. Door in room. Linear path to stairs. Yes. Linear path to Hydra. Cool. We made it. I was really hoping it was 0 times. Me, on the other hand, many times. Bazooka pieces of bubblegum. How much is... What's the going rate on bazooka these days? Oh, shit. Oh, no, it was with Virgil. Fuck. $0.02, really? That's extremely reasonably priced. So the 25 cost summon actually does less damage than the 20 cost. I think the 25 cost does less damage but has some kind of like status effect chance on it. That's not good. I thought there's no way this guy gets an extra turn. There's no way. I was wrong. Holy shit. We're in trouble. We're in trouble. Usually this fight is very fast and very easy. Oh man, that was greedy. I played greedy as fuck. Come on, Virgil. Come on, Virgil. Why does he get to go twice? Come on, Virgil. Come on, Virgil. We need this. No, I don't risk it. Don't be stupid. Don't be stupid. Don't be stupid. If he goes twice, I die. But I need SP. I think we play it safe, just to save the run. That's better. That's better. Man, we're gonna lose a whole minute on like one of the easiest fights in the game. That was a real shame. Come on, Virgil. Bring it home, baby. Bring it home. This one's close. This one's I'm gonna lose all my time. That sucks. Yes! Yes, we only lost 2 minutes. Man, that was a huge fuck up. And then I went the wrong direction. Woo! Not gonna lie, guys, I was sweating it. I was sweating it. Damn. That was a lot of time lost, man. We should have saved time, like realistically, with how fast the loads were. But yeah, that leaves marathon world record chance now. That's all. That's what I was doing. I should have just healed before that fight. I thought I was full health, but I guess I wasn't. Yeah, I should have summoned with my very, very first command. Instead, I threw a assault. So that's a shame. Or not assault, but snake killer. Okay, so now I gotta go do all my in-game shopping. So we should be fine from this point forward. I should have more than enough healing items and everything I need to finish the game out. And this is where I do all my shopping, pimp out my weapons, get a little bit better gear for the last couple fights, and then I get my pee break after all my shopping. Thank goodness, because I have to TT so bad, so bad. Fortunately, we get a really good weapon for free right here, based on bounty points, based on the amount of enemies we've killed in the game. It's a neat little functionality that we only utilize once for Jimmy's ultimate weapon, or Jimmy's not his ultimate weapon, but the second best weapon in the game. His ultimate weapon you get on the final area, but it's actually for his for the ability that we don't like to use on him. So, come on, are you serious? Stupid street thugs. Now they're just out and about, living their life. It's not even nighttime. So now we're stupid rich. And we just get more money when we go to this next place. Oh wow, I can actually see the fucking thing for once because I'm not on emulator. That's so nice. Now we got the arm cannon, boys. What? Oh, shit. I screwed up. I was like, why is Ares not here? I didn't talk to Everett when I left the house, apparently. Yeah. It's alright, it doesn't actually do anything but lose me a little bit of time. But now Buddy should rejoin. I should have realized when Buddy wasn't here. I never do that shop with only one character, so... Oh well, just hemorrhaging more time for a sweet, sweet PB in the future. Hey, what's going on, Quaz? How you doing, man? Just trying to make it to my potty break as fast as possible, but it's going pretty slowly. Yeah, unfortunately, this episode we have to travel to all the 3 major train stations, and it takes a little bit of time. And we have to do a little more. The majority, the lion's share of shopping is done after the train stations as well, so. But it pretty much means that getting the 3 train stations means that you have to run to the 3 furthest spots away from each other in the game. Come on, dudes. That's basically what it wanted. It doesn't actually give you anything impactful. Pretty much what's happening in the storyline is we have to go to these train stations to stop. We know that there's an attack coming because the Spectre tipped us off. And we think they're going to be traveling via train. So we go to the train stations to alert them to shut down the trains. But turns out it's too late. We don't know that yet, though. So I like to do them in this order because it lets me end near the shops. Alternatively, you could do Chinatown last, I guess, and not actually lose any time. But I like to do Chinatown second. You know what I just thought of? The movement in this game reminds me of Legend of Mana. How the characters like run really quickly and like their front, like their bodies, their heads are like, I don't know, they're like Scooby-Doo, where their bodies are like at an angle. If that makes sense. Where their heads are leaned like really far out in front of them. Now we go to the business district. And as you can see, these things are the enemies. So it's too late. I see. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't have the greatest idea of what's going on either. I just have a very loose understanding based on the stuff I've crudely translated via the Google Translating photo app. Come on, bruh. Oops. No, I don't know if we actually need... I don't think we actually need... Maybe we do. SP80s. Oops, passed them. We should be fine now. I hope that's enough, man. I guess we'll find out after Fancy Pants 2 whether or not that's going to be enough restorative items. No, I have it on PSP right now. It's an e-boot. Until I get a Japanese PlayStation. Can't run it on that. Okay, so now we go to the clock shop and I can take a piss. But it doesn't look, it's in composite right now. And now granted, we know how beautiful this game can be because I play it on like a scaled up emulator. But this looks good, right? For a composite capture of the disc version of the game, this looks good. I'm very pleased with it, especially if I got for some reason my Elgato doesn't like component cables, like it won't read component capture for anything. So once I get my better capture card up and running, I'll be able to use my component cables to make this kind of stuff look a little bit better. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty happy with PSP as a whole. It does go pretty hard. Especially for Parasite Eve. Kappa. Alrighty. It's pee-pee time. Just gotta make sure I hit the correct text box so I don't lose a whole minute again. The final boss is not that difficult. The Elgato Game Capture HD, yes. Okay, thank you. Woo! Just in the nick of time. Speaking of Nick. Yeah, I don't know if it's maybe just the cables I have or something. So we don't have to fight Spectre anymore. Found out that was just something I was doing that was extra. Wasn't actually necessary to progress story. So that saves us probably 30 seconds. But that is in my PB as well. So it doesn't save me anything over my PB, just over the old route as a whole. I think I did equip the arm cannon. I did. The final boss in this game is not crazy difficult as long as I don't make any stupid greedy plays and as long as I don't let Virgil die. So because I couldn't read, right here he says, "Will you help me?" And if you say no, you fight Spectre. And it's an unwinnable fight. He absolutely mauls you, like destroys you. But I used to think that was necessary to do. And then I found out you can just say, "Yeah, I'll help you," and skip all that. Alright, cool. We're nearing the end of the game, my friends. I'll have to see how many robot killers we have left. Maybe I can spare some here. Yeah, I guess I can spare 3. You're such a dick. That'll work. I thought I was on Eris. What a waste. What a waste! Alright. Let's go, buddy. Come on, man. Come on, buddy. Yo, you gotta be fucking kidding me. You need to use the fish, I guess. I can't afford any more robot killers or I won't be able to safely make it through Fancy Pants 2. I like how she does, like, she's flashing you. Nah, hell no, I'm not making that same mistake. Alright, we're fine. We're fine. It's PP time. God damn it, I didn't see somebody made that quote. What the hell? Come on, buddy. That's not good enough. This has been a slow fight. I made it and mod me. Wow! Jimmy, you fucking dirty betrayer. You gonna turn your back on your friends for some wench? I made him mod me, he says. Fucking quotes, dude. So we'll have to heal up after. It's PP time. It's definitely misleading. Is that a man making a toy fall in love with it? No, so it's a chick, and she's basically using charm, right? How do I cash in for nudes? I don't know. Guess you'll have to snap me. As long as one of us is above 100 HP, it should be not really a big deal. Yeah, and it's hard to tell based on the angle as well, because they like get hidden in the corners of the screen. That's one gripe about this game, is sometimes it's hard to discern. Sometimes they can hide in the corner of the screen, and it can make you not know how much damage you've done. She's not American though. She might be, I don't know. No, the American character in this game had them tig old bitties. Come on. I don't want to waste any more, Yeah, you run, you blaze up ladders. I like how the guns come out of the robots a little too low. I think that says a little bit about your personality, my friend. I'm not sure I understand what you're getting. It's like the chicks with guns on that come out of their boobs and Austin Powers. Alrighty, guys. So this is the longest fight in the game, I'd say. As long as I play it safe, it's really hard to get sniped, but it is possible. We just gotta kill the robot chick first, with very little to no mistakes. And we can't really afford a lot of misses. I'm already kind of low on, I'm kind of low on robot killers. I'm years. That's fair, touche. I'll give you a touche on that one. We don't want to see the rocket launcher. That was the worst thing to see. Man, that's so fucking unlucky. That was 3 turns. It's ridiculous. I'm just gonna heal Buddy up to just be absolutely sure. Yeah, that's probably a good decision. It takes 36 hits with robot killers to kill this chick. That's probably good. I'll heal with Jimmy. As long as we make it through here with like 30 HP 100s, we should be fine. Because the fancy pants part is actually the easiest. That's that shit I don't like. I hate when I have to double heal in a turn. It's such a waste. This fight is a little bit unfair, as you can tell. You want to stay above 150 HP at all times. They really can snipe the shit out of you. And that's hard to do on Jimmy, whose base HP is just is rather low. But once you get rid of this chick, the fight is smooth sailing. You gotta worry about those double attacks, man. We should be more than okay with the... Ever since I changed the route to incorporate the extra money, I've never had issues with being out of restorative items. And if you ever do, there's a backup for it. It's just like loses you a few minutes. I haven't had any misses yet, thankfully. These items can miss. What a bitch, dude. That's good. Jimmy getting smacked in the head like that. Best case scenario is Ares getting smacked in the head over and over. Like that, that's super good. Oh. Man, we're probably gonna lose time. This fight's not going super fast. That's good though. Fortunately, we haven't had a whole lot of misses. Damn it. She'll be dead in like the next couple. Cool. Now we can use attack bonuses and start focusing Fancy Pants down, which is much faster. If Buddy starts rolling like crazy, we can actually save a good deal of time here, but I doubt it. Jimmy's low on SP, Buddy is RNG dependent. Okay, I can probably throw an SP. Come on, buddy. Oh, damn. That's what we like to see. He has a lot less kill pressure. I don't know what this does. Not shit, apparently. But we need him to move. It's not gonna do any damage. Buddy smash indeed. We need him to move so that I can position Jimmy differently in order to make use of his strongest attack. There we go, that's better. Come on, buddy. Ooh, woo! Yeah, the position-based combat is kind of interesting, although it does provide some limitations on what you can and cannot. Damn, buddy, chill. On what you can and cannot do. Oftentimes, like now, it's easy to lose access to I've put all my investment in this one special ability that Jimmy has, and I can't even use it sometimes because of poor enemy positioning. God damn, dude. Are you fighting Eggman? Doesn't it look like... That's what I said, man. I thought he looks like that guy from Sonic as well. We're just gonna go for it at this point. Come on, buddy. It's not good enough. Jimmy's attack is the weakest until Fancy Pants moves. Fucking Wonder Shot is killing me. Buddy giveth and buddy taketh away. Oh shit. I didn't realize he was so low. We're doing such little damage, man. It's ridiculous. Better. Mature audiences. Mature of the spirit, my friend. Actually, just mature of age, not the spirit. This is a really unfortunate positioning he's gotten himself into. Hey, he's dead. Finally. Fuck, that took forever, dude. I was hoping I could sub 350 in this run, but it looks like it's going to be difficult. Unless we get really, really lucky at Mana Steam. We had a decent Mana Steam. It could definitely be a lot better. Mature as a bottle of wine? Yeah, but what kind, man? Like, I've had day-old bottles of wine. What clip is this? Oh, is this my Cordelium impersonation? My phone's gonna die before I can listen to it. You want me to record an audiobook? I That's pretty good. It's pretty good. I didn't master it, but it's decent. Franzia. Boone's Farm. That good. Alrighty. Let's go fuck the Man of Steam up. He always be saying some nonsense to me. Actually, this is really good. He gives me the detective gear, which is the best gear in the game. But he's got to say so many freaking squiggles just to achieve this goal. Like, come on, man. Oh my god, there's so many squiggles. Also, anybody who's watching, say goodbye to Buddy. He is done. He has done his job. He will no longer be part of any more fights for the remainder of the run. So that's quite sad. Yep, we have Virgil for the final fight in the game, which thank God. Thank God for that. He did carry us when we need to be carried. But the time is over and Buddy has done his job. It's time for him to rest. Ideally, we have Buddy. I guess it doesn't matter. But yeah, ideally we would have Buddy, Ares. Or just Buddy and Virgil and then any of the other two could for the third slot. It doesn't really matter. They're both pretty fucking worthless. The Man of Steam, like the artificial sun fight goes such a weird way that you can't really do anything about it. You have to pretty much just spam shit with Virgil as often as possible. Damn it. And if you if you get an extra attack in, cool. If you don't, like that's about it. Alrighty, now we get to go to the Dream World or whatever I don't know what this place is called. And one of my favorite nonsensical scenes in the game, right after you beat the final boss. Because it's like, I'll explain it when I get there. I don't want to spoil it now. Fucking Netherworld. But what is really neat is, and it kind of lends to this game. It kind of lends itself to this game's kind of easygoing, casual nature. That in the final zone of the game, they give you all the best weapon and gear for your characters as items you can just pick up off the ground. Well, we will use some of it, but not all of it. Some of it's useless. Because each character has 3 weapons, and some weapons, like weapon 2 on Jimmy is far superior to his other weapons. And weapon 3 is far superior on Ares to everything else. Or weapon 1, rather. Where do I go? Oh yeah, I remember now. I don't. It was this way. For some reason I was like, I don't want to backtrack. Meh. Where is it? Where is it? Where's the shiny? Fuck, I think that was the wrong one. And that's one I really need. Ah, shit. Whatever. Losing a little bit of time here. We don't actually need that, but it helps. Can't see it as well. Maybe that was the item I needed. I don't fucking remember. We'll find out when we get to the final boss and we get the crap beat out of us or not. I remember there was one thing to pick up on that screen, I just don't remember what it was. Yeah. So that's Jimmy's ultimate weapon right there. We'll get it. I don't know why. And that's a piece of Ares' ultimate gear. So there's the first safety, or the second rather, the safety revive. Damn it. Yeah, I have 2 revives now. I picked the first one up when I went backtrack to the first screen on accident. We don't want the human soul. Oops, wrong one. Third revive, just in case. I feel like I missed one of Ares' pieces of gear, but it's okay. It's not the end of the world. Come on, these encounters are ridiculous. And we don't actually need the human soul either. Oh, I did get them all. Alright, let's do it! Can we do it in 15 minutes? We will find out. Oops. I have way more damage items than I usually do because I went and purchased them. Or I purchased the extras, rather. So that'll help. So the way this fight works is he has a few moves at his disposal. The ones you gotta worry about are his AoE. The other one you're gonna see quite a bit is called Reset. And what it does is it wipes everybody's buffs. Both the one that he has and the one that's Reset right there. So that wipes everybody's buffs, which means it gets rid of Virgil's attack up. But as long as I can keep getting a little bit of value out of attack boost, it's worth it because it'll keep him spamming resets, which is pretty safe. That's good. We don't want him to reset a bunch until later on in the fight. As you can see, he does a fuck ton of damage. But it doesn't really matter. We only need Virgil to be alive, and as long as everybody else is above 150 HP, it's really, really hard for him to kill us. Hopefully Jimmy gets a turn after this, although I don't think he will. But in this situation, he's going to prioritize a reset over most things. Which is good, because it allows us to basically get a turn where we're going to go undamaged. And on turns like that where you have a free turn on somebody, you might as well just use it to do whatever. Alright, so there's the reset. And free turns with Ares that Virgil needs mana, we'll give it to him. Pretty much, I just want to stay doing healing items with my characters that aren't Virgil. And now if Virgil gets a turn, I'll use healing items with him as well, just to be extra safe. Although it does hurt quite badly. But I need to do it. I've been bitten too many times because I've gotten greedy about that. Yeah, it's not that he's hard to outpace. It's just that it pretty much guarantees that he'll keep spamming heal if we don't have any damage items to bait the resets. I don't think he reset yet, has he? Basically, his heals do right around the amount that Virgil does in damage, so we just kind of have to, if we don't have boosters, then we pretty much just have to, you know, sit in the heal loop. Do I have a, yeah, I do. Oops, I thought that was a human soul, and I guess it wasn't. What did I pick up then? So there's the reset. Damn it. The boosters add a significant amount of damage to Virgil's summon. And as you'll see right here, anywhere from 375 to 410 is what he does when he's boosted, and 333 is technically is really the high end of a non-boosted summon. But it makes a big enough difference that since we not, you know, might as well push all the damage we can, considering that we don't really have any other options. God damn it. He has a weak AoE attack that he uses that I obviously would prefer to see. I've considered routing in the stronger healing items in the game, but they're very expensive. If I do die with anybody, I have revives, which are very, very good in this game. I picked up way more than I usually need. Usually I don't need any, but I picked up 3 just to be safe. Because there was one time I made it here on great pace. Virgil got sniped. And I should have SP80'd. And I didn't I didn't have a way to revive him. And we just withered away at that point. And once he gets to about a quarter of his health, he'll start using heals. Whether or not you get a ton of heals is, uh-oh. Oh, man. Woo! Damn, that was close. It could have been ugly.
Welcome to Nevermore.
Yeah, it drops, now with the arm cannon, it drops evasion and accuracy. Previously, it would just drop evasion. Also, Ben, thank you so much for the host, my dude. How you doing today, man? And thank you so much. This is the artificial sun. So the Man of Steam, with all this steam-powered stuff that he's created, has put out so much atmosphere that it's actually manifested into this energy. So it's called the artificial sun. This is kind of risky, going back to bed, and that's totally fine, my dude. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. Hopefully you have a good sleep. Tell Shelby I said, what's up? I've gotten a lot of value off of that. I was about to say, I've gotten a lot of value off that one boost. So, it was about, I'm surprised that it took that long for a reset. We have way more attack items than I usually do at this point. If you're high enough level on Jimmy and you have his ultimate weapon equipped in slot 1, Jimmy gets an attack that fires 3 shots, and it's really, really strong. But you have to be like at least another 10 levels higher than I am currently. And you'll know as we've split on the last hit of this boss, and you'll know when that happens because the music will stop. We should be getting kind of close to the healing phase of the fight. There it is. That's pretty good though. It allows us to push damage. It slows our damage down, but it gives us free turns on everybody else. So. We still have a boost up though, I believe, which is pretty strong at this point. Usually we make it, once the heal phase starts, we're usually already out. So it'll allow us to outpace him quite heavily. We basically want to see resets and heals at this point. It's the safest and fastest way to chew through this. And then hopefully Ares gets a turn here. Nice. Unfortunate. It's not so bad then. He's at the PS2 boot menu. It really does look like it, right? That's funny. That's funny as fuck. It looks just like it. Okay, cool. So it's another dead turn. Wow, nice. Nice, nice, nice. I don't. That would have, Virgil is going next, so I would have hated to have had to heal with him. So, yeah, the attack boost adds about 70 damage a turn to Virgil, which is pretty sizable. Really need an SP80 chance. Come on, a minute and a half. It might actually be best case scenario right here. I'm trying to think. Because if Virgil pops, it means that Virgil's getting a 400 damage off here, which is very strong. So no heal to reduce our DPS for this turn. Yeah, I'm gonna have to SP80 him. And if one of them dies, one of them dies. It's not the end of the world. Come on, 30 seconds. Oof. It's rough. Throwing it away for greed. It's no glitches allowed. It's on. It'll be Tuesday of next week that I run. There it is. Yes, the sub 350. Yes, that was so greedy. That was so greedy. Yes. Just barely making it. Woohoo! Which I think by Japanese RTA time, this would be a sub 4. Yes!